Hi, it's Liam Scheff with another Official Stories update. The Japanese power plant known as Fukushima Daiichi is still undergoing a nuclear meltdown. There are now 3 reactors that have melted down on the coast of Japan. This has been going on since 2011. 2 years and 9 months later, nobody's been able to stop it. Nobody's really even talking about how to do it. Japan was talked into building nuclear power plants in the 1960s as part of the Eisenhower Atoms for Peace program. This is after Japan had 2 nuclear bombs dropped on it in the 1940s. You'd think they would have turned their backs on it, but they didn't. They were talked into this as a cheap, renewable, green, long-lasting, low-impact energy source that would let it compete at the world table of commerce, like the big players, the United States, the Soviet Union, Western Europe, countries that have either a lot of coal or a lot of oil or access to both. Japan doesn't have oil. Why do you think they bombed Pearl Harbor in World War II? They weren't looking to start a fight necessarily with the biggest boy on the block. They wanted the United States not to stop them from taking oil from Southeast Asia. The same thing happened in Germany in World War II. The German army invaded Russia. They didn't want to get caught in the cold. They wanted to get to Baku, Azerbaijan, the oil capital of old Europe. Why do you think the German army was also going through North Africa? Not for the baba ganoush. They were headed to the Middle East to get the oil. Oil's what makes the 20th century run. There's a reason why nuclear power plants are positioned all over the world, and it's not for our health. It's not really even for a cheap source of energy. It's to enrich the military-industrial complex in their desire to have nuclear bombs. Nuclear power doesn't get us out of any jams, it gets us into problems, and it's probably too late to do much about it. There are at least a dozen, maybe 2 dozen, nuclear power plants just like the one in Japan all over the United States. A lot of them are on fault lines here. A lot of them could have problems. There's some 77,000 tons of spent radioactive material lying around the United States, just waiting for something bad to happen. I don't know that we can ever get out of this. Japan is undergoing 3 nuclear meltdowns. They have 6 reactors filled with fuel. Any of these could topple at any moment. Once the buildings toppled, the fuel would be uncovered by water, which would cause it to go critical. If it went critical, it would heat up, and we'd have a very, very serious problem all over the northern hemisphere. I don't know what to do about that. I do know if you're in favor of nuclear power today, you're not paying attention to the details. And the details might be something called an ELE, or an extinction level event, that's now taking its time on the coast of Japan. Again, I don't know what to do about that, except to tell you. That's what's happening. It's not being reported on the news because we're hearing about Obamacare. Or maybe Sarah Palin has something to say. Maybe Kim Kardashian's lost a little bit of weight. My advice to you is figure out where you're living. If it's on the West Coast, I would consider moving. If it's not, I'd consider asking the question, where do we get our food? Where do we get our water? Do we grow any of our food? Do we have water from a local source? How do we make our electricity? Can we make that through wind or solar or hydro? Or can we burn coal to get it? There is a lot of coal left in the world. Maybe that's not your favorite thing either, but we do like electricity. The questions are, can you live locally? I think that's the most important question that we're going to be asking in this first half of the 21st century. This is Liam Scheff with an Official Stories update. You can go to enenews.com for regular Fukushima updates that you won't get in the mainstream media. Look for my book on Amazon. It's a corrective textbook to all the other lies we were taught in school. See ya.